On your way down, just remind yourself, I got what it takes. Isn't it so easy to say things like that? I've got what it takes. I'm the man for the job. I'm the woman for the job. I'm the one you need. I can handle this. It's so easy to say that until this becomes unbearable. And suddenly you find yourself in situations, and if the truth be told, I doubt there are very many people in this room that aren't experiencing some degree of being overwhelmed by life itself. If you live very long at all of your youthful idealism gives way to the harsh realities of life itself. When you were a teenager, you thought you knew everything. But when you got to put everything in practice, you found out it wasn't as easy as you thought it was. Life has a way of humbling you. Life has a way of making you close your mouth. You were critical of other people's children, but life will make you shut up. Life will make you hold your peace. You looked at other people's marriage and said, why doesn't she do this and why doesn't he do that? But life will mute you, shut you down, make you pray. Because all of us, if you live long enough, will go through a period of feeling so overwhelmed that you think, if one more thing, if the phone rings one more time, if I get another text, if I get another email, sometimes I question technology. I appreciate all the advances, but I don't need another way for anybody to be able to access me. We had so much more peace when we were not so accessible, when our phones weren't vibrating and emails and texts and everything going off around the clock. Before you can get off the phone, your leg is vibrating, another text coming in. You get off of there, you got to check your email. Somebody rang the doorbell, and sooner or later you feel, oh God, just get me out of this. There are moments in your life that you feel overwhelmed by life, by people, by your own issues, by your own circumstances, by demands, by struggles, and yes, by temptations. It reminds me very much of the fight scenes in the movies. If you watch the fight scenes in the movies and it's 5 guys fighting 1 guy, it's interesting how they come at him one at a time. In the movies, you can do karate if they come one at a time. But if all 10 of them come at the same time, you only got 2 legs to kick. What are you going to do with the other 8? And sometimes we like to think that life comes to us in courses, but it does not. In reality, sometimes you got 10 issues and they all hit you in the same weekend. It's not long before you feel overwhelmed. I can't take it anymore. It's that God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above ye are able. It didn't say he wouldn't suffer you to be tempted above your comfort. It didn't say he wouldn't suffer you to be tempted above your convenience. It said he will not suffer you to be tempted above that which ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way of escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Able to bear it. He will always give you a way out that you may be able to bear it. The faithful God enters in midstream of the text, and the first thing we learn about him is that he is faithful. But the second thing that is equally as important is that the faithful God knows your ability. The faithful God knows your ability. Yes, you are a designer's original, designed by God, who has been your architect, designing your strength and your will and your personality and your tenacity to determine what ye are able to bear. I never will forget when we were building this building and we decided that we wanted to make the roof, the ceiling be higher so that we could get sight lines for television. And when we started doing it, the architect had to redesign the entire building and change the weight of the steel to be able to bear more weight of what we designed for this building to be able to do. So when God says that you are able to bear it, it is not a word of encouragement. This is the word of an architect who knows your construct and knows what you're designed to do and will not suffer you to be tempted above that which you're able. That's why you're not going through what the lady behind you is going through. Because your test and your temptation is determined by your construct, and God won't put on you what he put on her, because you can't take what she can take and she can't take what you can take. Oh, you don't hear what I'm saying? Glory to God. That's why you ought not covet your neighbor's anything. Don't ask for their car, don't ask for their house, don't ask for their wife, don't ask for their husband, don't ask for their job, don't ask for their ministry, because the worst thing in life is to be pushed into a position that you are not designed. Oh, y'all gonna help me after a while. You've been designed for it. You've been designed. You've been designed. But just because you've been designed doesn't mean you don't feel the heat. Oh, at the things that we want God to lift off of us, only to hear him say, my grace is sufficient. Fix me so I don't hurt anymore. No, my grace is sufficient. You don't know what you've got until all hell breaks loose. You don't know what you can take until the pressure is applied to your life. You don't know what you can endure until people stab you in the back and walk away from you. You don't know how much courage you have until you've been under fire and under struggle and under tribulation. You can't learn what's in you sitting back in a lazy boy chair hitting the remote control watching HBO and Cinemax. But when all hell breaks loose, that's when you get to see what you got. I didn't get to see the design. I didn't get to see the architectural plans, but I know I'm made of some good stuff. I can tell by the burdens I bear and the load I carry and the stuff I endure. I shock myself at what I'm able to take. It's not just that I shock my enemies, I shock myself. They said I was going to die, and I believed it. But through hell and high water, I'm still here. So as you walk through life, he reveals both the assets and liabilities of being you. Every day will unfold a benefit and a burden, an asset and a liability. Oh, somebody knows what I'm talking about. You'll get a benefit, but before you can shout over it, here comes a burden. You'll see an asset, but before you can get high-minded, here comes a liability. Paul said, I saw things that were not lawful to be uttered, but before I could be puffed up and exalted above measure, here comes a liability to balance the assets against the liability. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Now, if God is faithful, and he is, and he will not suffer you, he will not allow you to be tempted above that which ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way of escape, all for the purpose that you might be able to bear it, then why then are we so overwhelmed? Taking nerve pills and stress pills and pills to lay down and pills to get up in the morning and pills to make us smile and pills to make us get along with people. Why?
You can't fool with this stuff. You got to take it like it comes. Then what do you change to make your life work well? You got to start with your philosophy. Guess what I had to do at age 25 in order to change my own future? I had to change my mind. I had to change my thinking. I had to change my philosophy. I was messed up on what was causing my problem. And once I got that straightened out, that all the stuff I blamed, the government and taxes and the marketplace and the economy and things cost too much, negative relatives, cynical neighbors, once I got rid of that and started going for where the real problem was, which was me, I'm telling you, my life exploded into change. And the early results I got from making these philosophical changes tasted so good, I've never stopped the process from that day until today.